Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be re-reviewing the Hifiman Sundaras after I've used them for a year, and unfortunately they've developed a really bad QC issue to the point where I'm actually switching headphones. And I'm switching to the HD 560S. These are great, but they have one fatal flaw, which is again a QC issue, which I'm just going to spoil it right off the bat. It's a channel imbalance issue. I thought it was my ears at first. I thought I was going crazy, but no, these really do have a channel imbalance issue. Every time with these headphones, I just listen to like it normally, like, panned, like there's no like tweaking to the balance or anything in the settings. Just listen to it raw. It just, everything sounds like it's panned to the left too much. Like even, especially vocals, they just are very noticeably panned to the left. And I thought, again, it was my ears, but then I used the 58X, not the 560S, but like my old 58X, I plugged them in and vocals were perfectly in the center, mono tracks were perfectly centered, and they weren't panned to the left. So that's when I realized, oh wait, these have a QC issue. And unfortunately, this isn't uncommon for Hifiman products. This is very, very common, and even on their very expensive, like $1,600 headphones. I heard like one guy on the headphone subreddit, he got 4 different pairs. He got 4 different sets of the HE1000 SEs, and all 4 of them just didn't work. Like 3 of them just straight up, the drivers stopped working. So yeah, that's just a very clear example of us how bad Hifiman's QC is. It's just really bad even today. Like, so if you want a headphone that will last a long time and is built semi-well, don't really go for Hifiman products, because even if you don't have any QC issues with yours, these still aren't built the best, and it feels like if I drop them, they can just break at any second, because it just feels kind of fragile. But I did get the 560S, and what do I think about it compared to just the Sundara? Not talking about like channel imbalance or anything like that. Oh, and also, before I talk about that, I want to talk about my other QC issues. That Red Ninja Sora, the one I said that didn't have any sensor issues, it does. And of course, it's the same thing that happened with my original Sora, where I used it for about a month, I didn't notice anything, and then after a month, oh wait, I noticed the sensor issue. And it's the same thing with the red one. They said they fixed the sensor issue, but on my copy, it's not fixed. At least in like CSGO and like even in CS2, it bugs the fuck out. And it's very annoying to the point where, again, I've stopped using it. I'm going to contact Ninjutsu about it, and see what I can do, but it is past the return window, so I don't even know if there is much I can do. Also, the Audio Evo 8, it also is pretty radly, like I said in my first impressions video, but also, the input 4, for some reason, it just doesn't want to work sometimes like it normally should. It's supposed to just go to the same volume as input 3 right off the bat because it's a stereo pair, but it doesn't do that. It is just way quieter. It still registers as an input. It's not like it doesn't work at all, but I have to adjust input 4 every time I boot up the PC. For some reason, it just keeps going back down to like very quiet settings, even though it's supposed to be, again, at the same level as input 3. It's weird. Give me some advice if you have any idea how to fix that. Maybe I'll try rolling back the drivers. I don't know. Or rolling back firmware. I have no idea. But anyways, let's talk about this comparison. So in terms of detail, the Sundara edges out the 560S just a little bit. I mean, you'd expect that. These are about like $100 more. These are pretty decently cheap budget headphones, and these are great budget headphones. The only bad thing I can say about them, and it's not even that bad, it's honestly just a nitpick, is that the build quality isn't the best, but you would expect that for, again, $180, which is what it's going on sale for right now. It just like pops. You probably heard that. Yeah, you can hear that. It just like kind of pops, and when I like open them up, let me try to do this. You can hear it just pops a little bit, but I'll see if it's just like a break-in thing where, it'll just like stop doing that most of the time, like over time, as I use it more and get it more like stretched out and broken into, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'll see if it does that. Hopefully it does. But even if it doesn't, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, and they're still built well enough, like in general, like excluding like the popping of like the hinges and stuff, to the point where if I drop them, I feel like they wouldn't break, like kind of it is with the Sundaras. And also, okay, first of all, big point up. They don't have any QC issues out of the box, at least. They don't have any like panned, like channel imbalance issues, panned to the left. No, it doesn't have any of that. It works perfectly fine. So there you go. It's a big point up. But also, the imaging is better on this than the Sundaras. It's insane how much better these are for gaming. And not only that, these also pull like triple duty. These are great for gaming. These are pretty good for music listening. Again, I would say the Sundaras have the slight edge in terms of detail, but in terms of soundstage, these are pretty close. And also just gaming is fucking insane. I can't understate how good gaming is. It sounds like everything is like 360 audio, but it's not. It's really good. The imaging is just very good. If you're just looking for a neutral gaming headphone, it's here. It's right here. And it's because it's on sale, it's really not that expensive. So yeah. Just don't go for a gaming headphone. The gaming headphone or gaming headsets are really, really dumb. Just go for like a neutral or like a bass boosted one if you want. But like just gaming headphones aren't that like good, especially for music listening. I don't like them that much. I have the HyperX Cloud 2s, and I just don't like them. I never use them at this point, except for like maybe if I need to record vocals, because they're the only closebacks I have. But yeah, if I don't need to, I'm not going to use them at all. But as I said, yeah, these are great in terms of imaging, and just soundstage is also pretty good. And also, these are great for like studio mixing. These are like probably really, really good for that. I'm still getting used to like mixing and stuff for like home studio stuff. But yeah, these sound very good. They're very neutral, very, very neutral. To the point where some people can say they're too neutral or too analytical or boring. But I kind of like that. I still do have to turn down the bass a little bit because my ears are sensitive to bass. I've said this before, but they really are. They are super sensitive. Even these that are very neutral, like basically dead neutral. Yeah, they are bassy to me if I don't EQ them somewhat. And fortunately, these are respond pretty well to EQ. So I don't have any problem EQing them. So yeah, I really don't have a whole lot of issues with these, again, besides just like the popping out of the box at least. But again, that's probably because it just needs to break in a little bit and like, stretch out a little bit more to get, used to just stretching out more. So yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and also the treble is a little bit more recessed than the Sundara, so that is something I do need to get used to a little bit. But yeah, rather than that, these are great headphones. These are great all-around headphones for music listening, again, for gaming especially. These are top-tier gaming headphones. If you have these, basically all you need. And also detachable cable, which is really good. And also great studio and mixing, whatever you want to call it, headphones. Great for that. Because they are so neutral and they are pretty detailed. So, yeah. Oh, and also comfort. Almost forgot to mention it. I find these more comfortable than the 58X. I know a lot of people might prefer like the HG600 lineup with how they clamp, but I find those too uncomfortable with the clamping force. With these, they have a little bit less clamping force out of the box, and they'll probably just get better and better and better as I use them more. They're not, they're slightly less comfortable than the Sundaras, but again, it's probably just because they're not broken into yet, and again, Sundaras I've had for a year. So, yeah, they've had plenty of time to break in and, get comfortable. So, yeah, that's basically it. And I find these ear cups also pretty good, like deep enough. I really don't think they're that shallow, but it's just something to keep in mind. That they are a little bit shallow. So if you have like very big ears, they might not suit you very well. And also, again, another thing to mention is that, again, it pops a little bit out of the box. At least mine does. I'm not sure if it's like a normal thing or not. But if you have them, then, say it in the comments below if they did like do this kind of like popping stuff out of the box. I'm just curious. But yeah, That's basically it. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.